Hello friends, welcome to my channel DataMaking. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to install Microsoft SQL Server, which is one of the RDBMS database available in the market on the Ubuntu operating system. Okay, so the prerequisite is you should have a Ubuntu operating system running on your laptop or your desktop. On laptop, you can have it in a direct installation, or it can have it as a virtual machine, and or you have it your Ubuntu operating system, any one of the cloud provider also, that should be fine. So once you log into the Ubuntu operating system, just type a pwd command to know your current directory. Just to make note of it, where you, from which location you are installing it. And so first thing is basically you need to install Microsoft SQL Server. So Microsoft giving a kind of a repository URL from which you are going to download and install it using the Ubuntu package manager. So first, what we need to do is we need to import this GPG key. So for that, you run this wget command. Okay, once you type this command or copy paste this command, enter, and it may ask you password for your user, because we applied the sudo command. So then enter your password. So it will be imported. You will see the OK text coming here. And then next is basically you need to add the, I told you, right, there is a repository to install the Microsoft SQL Server. That repository you need to add it to the your Ubuntu local repository. For that, the sudo add apt repository command with the URL you need to run. So once you run, then it will run for some time, and once this is been added to your Ubuntu repository, then you can run this the package index, the local package index on your Ubuntu. The command to run is sudo space apt-get and update. This will update your local repository index or the package index on your local machine. So once this command is done, now we can actually install the Microsoft SQL Server using this command called sudo apt-get install. -y is basically, if you don't give the -y, it will ask you this much amount of space is going to consume. Do you want to continue? Yes or no. So for that, to avoid that, we just providing -y. Without -y also you can run. So mainly the command you need to execute is MS SQL server. So this is a package or command you need to run to install the SQL Server. So it is started installing the SQL Server on your Ubuntu operating system. So once this is completed, you can run this command to set up the password for the SA user. So basically, when you install Microsoft SQL Server, there will be a default user called SA, which will be created. For that, you need to set up a password. So for that, you have to run this command sudo space /opt/mssql /bin /mssql -conf space setup. So if you run this, so it is going to ask you what type of so it will come with a set of my SQL Server or SQL Server flavors. So basically, evaluate 14, 18, 180 days trial version, and developer version of it, express version of it. There are these are the three free, others are not free. So you need to choose which edition of SQL Server you want to use. So I'm going to choose the second, developer version. You can choose anyone based on your requirement. So I chosen two, and then enter. Now you just asking the license. Do you accept the license terms, and say yes, and which language you prefer. So I chosen English, which is option 1. Then enter. Now we need to set the password for the SA user. So you can set the password. You can check as per your. So basically, you have it as the password with the. I think so. Definitely, there will be a kind of some length, right? So basically, eight length character, and you'll have numerical. So those combination you can create the password. Once you create it, so it will be uh, installed on your machine. Okay. So now the SQL Server is the SQL Server or SQL Server. Uh, so the SQL, basically the short form you can call it as SQL or the pronunciation. So SQL Server is Microsoft SQL Server is installed on this machine. Actually, what we need to do is you can check the status of the SQL Server by running the SQL Server service by running the command systemctl space status space ms SQL hyphen server with no pager. So it will show you the status. So it says active and running. Okay, this is good. Now we need to just run this sudo apt command because we are going to install some client utility to connect to the Microsoft SQL Server. So for that we have to update the local package index. So once you've done this command, now you need to download you need to install the curl. So basically, sudo I told you, right, we have to install some SQL client for SQL Server. We need to download some packages. So for that, we are going to use the curl command. So install the curl command using the sudo apt install curl. So it last it's going to consume some spaces. Say yes. So once this is done, now we are going to again before running your before getting your package, you just run this curl command to add the cpg command, and then now you are going to download the package and add it to your local list, source list, using the curl command. And then now again, once you generally when you add the package to your local source list to the Ubuntu, you need to run this sudo apt update command. So once you run that, it is done. Now we can install the tools. So there is a command called MS SQL tools, and with some ODBC driver also it's going to install. So this is optional, the Unix ODBC dev, but this is the important command we need to run. So MS SQL tools. So the entire command will be sudo space apt get install MS SQL tools. Okay, and you can for installing ODBC connect driver, you can type like space Unix ODBC dev. So which is going to install the SQL client for it. It is going to ask you the prompt you for the license agreement. Say yes. Okay, then it is going to again some tools is going to install. Say accept the license for that. Yes. Now it is going to install the SQL Server tools. Okay. So basically, we need to update your profile files to access the client. Okay. So for that you just open this using the Nano editor, because since we are using Ubuntu, using the Nano editor, open the Bash profile file. So tilde symbols means the low home directory, tilde slash dot bash underscore profile. So using Nano editor, you paste this command. So we are exporting this location, okay, the path variable. So echo just give that export command. Okay, once it is done, okay, so then what we are going to do is we are going to run this again you are going to update that bash rc folder. Sorry, the bash rc profile file. One is a bash profile file, another is a dot bash rc. This is also available in the home directory. So we are editing that, and the end you are just adding this echo. You are exporting this command. Okay, we are exporting the this path opt slash ms sql tool slash bin. This particular path we are appending to the path variable, which is the environment variable, right? So once you added it, save this. Okay, so then what you need to do is we need to now we added the the MS SQL bin folder, okay, which has client libraries or client utility to access the SQL Server database. So what is the client utility is called? SQL command. There is a like for Postgres PSQL, for MySQL client is there. No, similarly for SQL Server. So this is the utility we are installed. Comes with the like we installed MS SQL tools, right? While installing that, this is the utility which came. So which is the SQL command is a utility space -s, give the host name. It is the local host because they are installed on local machine. -u, the username is SA. The password I set is you can provide the -p space. Uh, I given that password is DataMaking. The D is a caps letter, the starting D, and 1 star. Okay, so now it is able to connect to the SQL database, which is a SQL Server database using the CLI command. Okay, so you will see this prompt, and if you want to see the existing databases, you can run this command called select name, select space name space from sys.databases. So sys.databases will have all your database objects on this table. Okay, so then do enter. Whenever you run your query, so do enter is not sufficient. So you need to run the command called go after you completing your query by semicolon. The next line you need to type go in cap letter and say enter. Then only the previous query or SQL command you written will be executed. So after running the go command, so I see the list of databases listed over here, the existing databases. Now I want to create a new database called ecomdb. Uh, so I'm going to once we ready with the SQL Server, then we are going to want to integrate with uh, the Spark, right? So that's the reason last 3 videos we made RDBMS installation, like started with MySQL, Postgres. Now this is the third video to install the Microsoft SQL Server. So in the next video will be how to integrate this RDBMS database with the PySpark. So for that, we want to install we have to create the database and keep it ready so that we will create a tables in this and we'll try to query from the Spark. So database creation is simple. Create database name, and then semicolon end, and then we have to run the go command. So once run the go command, again run the select command to see the databases, and once you give the go, it will show you the database is just listed. So I created the database. To come out of this CLI mode, just type quit, QUIT, then enter. So it will come out of the CLI mode. So this is how we need to install the Microsoft SQL Server or SQL Server on the Ubuntu operating system. So now we are ready with the RDBMS, 3 RDBMS databases, which is MySQL, Postgres, Microsoft SQL Server. Now our next work is to integrate or connect these databases from the PySpark program, and then followed by the Spark with the Scala API. Okay, so I hope you are liking these videos. Thank you so much.